Hello and welcome back to Level Up with Loraine. I am your host, Loraine, and I am so excited that you are here with me today. Today, we're going to be talking about living life. I have titled this episode, Life's Too Short, Wear the Outfit, Take the Trip, Live, Do the Things that you want to do today. And I can't wait to dive into what prompted it and just share with you guys a few nuggets around living in the moment and as though today's your last day. So without wasting time, grab a drink of your choice, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So I've experienced quite a bit of loss in the past couple of months. And this is either direct loss of losing a friend or a family member, or indirect in that a friend of mine or a loved one of mine has lost their loved one or someone who's dear to them. And this has just brought about the realization that life is short and we don't get an extension. Now, of the people that we've lost, there's some who weren't feeling well, but you just never think that it would end in death or so soon. And some were sudden. They were young, they were doing well, they looked like they were healthy, living their best life, and their lives were cut short. So life is short and we don't get an extension. So why are we still waiting to live it? And what do I mean by this? We save the nice clothes for special occasions. We put off going on that trip that we've been dreaming of for a long time. And we say we're still waiting for the right time, in quotes. We stay in relationships that drain us because it's comfortable. But you know what the truth is? There's no perfect time. The perfect time is now because tomorrow may never come. I have a dress that I bought a few years ago. It's a beautiful dress. And I told myself I'd wear it for a special occasion or an event. And months went by. There was always a reason not to wear this dress. It was just, I always used to say to myself, it's not the right occasion. This dress is too beautiful. I feel like there's an occasion in the future where it would be, it would be the best time to wear it. And there's always a reason not to wear it, right? And then just the other day, I realized the dress is still hanging in my wardrobe. In fact, the dress still has its tag on. And I was waiting for life to give me permission or a moment to wear this dress. And with, the past couple of weeks and months, like I shared, losing friends and family and loved ones, I've just decided that I'm done waiting. This dress needs to be worn. It needs to be worn on a Tuesday. It needs to be worn to church. It needs to be worn on date night. I'm going to live life and wear the dress, right? And this is really what this episode is about and what I'm talking about today. About the things that we've put on ice, the things we've put on hold because we're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the sign that this is now. Another example is my mother's china, right? I think a lot of mothers, I think this is relatable actually, have a cabinet where they have all the expensive china, all this expensive cutlery and this and that, and it only comes out when they're special guests, or it probably has never been used, and they're still waiting for a special occasion. But honestly, when is that, right? Is every day not a special occasion? The fact that we are alive, that we're breathing, that we've been granted another day to live with our loved ones, is that not a special occasion? So I've written down some common excuses that we all come up with because we trick ourselves into thinking these are harmless delays, but these delays are quietly becoming decades. And before you know it, the things we said we'd do one day become things we never did. So, I'll lose weight when I'm done with my exams, right? I'll lose weight when I'm done with this project, this huge project at work. I have no time to do meal planning, to work out. I'll focus on losing weight when I'm done with ABC. When I have more money, I'll take a trip. right? You're working hard every day and you have never maybe spoiled yourself with a simple trip. And a trip doesn't have to be extravagant. It can be a trip to the nearest town out of your city, right? It could be a night out as a staycation at a nice hotel just to self-care and treat yourself for your hard work. When the time is right, ... Fill in the gaps. What is that thing that you keep saying to yourself, I will do A when B is completed? When my kids are older, I will go on that trip. When my kids are older, I will run a marathon. When my kids are older, I'll buy myself ... Why are we pausing life? Why do we pause living life for a certain time and take for granted that these may be your last days, right? Taking for granted that tomorrow is actually not guaranteed. So I thought I'd just share these because these are common excuses. And it's important that we are aware of them. And I know as I'm speaking, you already know each one of us have our own excuses or things that we've put on ice, things that we haven't done. We've put them on hold because we're waiting for the right time. Well, I'm here to tell you that the right time is now. The right time is today, tomorrow, next week, the near future. Stop pausing life because life is not guaranteed. Every day is a special occasion. Joy does not have to be saved for the future. And the life you want is built in small daily choices. It doesn't happen in one big moment. It's creating small daily choices to be happy every day. So one of the biggest shifts I made was deciding that today was worth celebrating. I wear the good perfume on an errand, right? When I'm going to pick up my kid from school, when I'm going to the shops, I wear that good perfume because why do I have it? What am I waiting for? Right? I light the fancy candle when I'm in my bathroom at least twice or thrice a week. I use my best china because I've learned from my mother that it may never get used if I don't use it. Right? So I enjoy my good things. It's not about luxury. It's about refusing to wait for permission to enjoy life. So what I want you to know is that every bold step doesn't have to start or begin with a huge leap. Sometimes it's just a tiny rebellion against waiting, right? And I've given some examples already, but it's a little voice saying, I'm alive today, so I will live today. And I'm going to share with you some practical tips to empower you. Some of the things that you can do are identify what you're postponing. I've already given you some examples. I've also shared some of my things that I've postponed. And so write a list of the things you've been telling yourself you'll do later. Next, I want you to pick just one and do it now. So choose one to do this week. Start small. Maybe it's calling that friend that you've been meaning to reconnect with, right? That's it. That's the first step to something huge that you've probably been putting off and saying it's not the right time. And so maybe take the first step this week, right? Or if we're using the dress example and there's a pretty dress you haven't worn and you know you have a date night coming in the next week or two, wear the dress, right? Push yourself towards enjoying the things in your life right now. So start with choosing something this week and taking a step this week. The third thing I want you to do is remove the guilt. Remind yourself that you don't have to earn joy. You don't have to have an occasion to enjoy the things in your life. Every day is a reason to enjoy. And the fourth and last thing is building yes into your routine. So every week, intentionally do something that makes you feel alive. Now, it doesn't again have to be you spending money. It doesn't have to be luxurious or a huge effort. It could be you doing something as simple as taking a walk, right? And enjoying the nearest park, breathing in fresh air, taking pictures of nature. It could also be as simple as taking yourself out on a date, a coffee date. You wear that outfit or that top or those pants or those shoes that you haven't worn because you've been holding out for an occasion, and you treat yourself to coffee in that fancy dress, right? It could also be a notch up, and it could be you booking that trip, taking that step, booking that trip in advance, and starting to have something to look forward to. So build yes into your routine. Start to find reasons to live life. Start to say yes to yourself more and stop holding back the joy of living. I want to challenge you to pick one thing you've been waiting to do, like I said before, and to do it this week, to wear the outfit, take the photo, book the ticket. Say the words, because the truth is, life is short, and the only time we are promised is now. Until next time, continue to level up.